வணக்கம் மாப்பிள்ள.
Okay, so shall we start our session? So only 27 are there. Okay, uh, almost 30 members. So right, so we can start now. Right. First of all, very good morning to one and all. And today we are going to see something about foundations of modern cryptography. It is an important and very interesting topic in our first unit, and also it is a last topic in your first unit. Right. So last chapter in your first unit. Right. In your first unit, we can segregate our first. Am I audible to you all? Can anyone reply? Yes. Jishnu, am I audible? Am I audible to you all now?
Sir.
Okay. Okay. So we can continue. So today we are going to see something about a new topic in our first unit, that is foundations of modern cryptography. Right. So this is a last chapter in your first unit. Okay. So first of all, we can segregate our first unit into some three types. I mean, some three things, right? So first one, that is OSI network security architecture. That is a basic thing. I mean, that is a core of our network security subject. And second one is that problem, substitution and transposition techniques problems, right? So that is a traditional cryptography. That is a classical encryption techniques, right? So in this classical encryption, in that classical encryptions, sorry. So we have seen some two things, right? So one is substitution techniques, another one is transposition techniques. In these substitution techniques, we have seen some six types of problems, and in each type we have solved a sample problem, right? Is there any doubt in that? If you have any doubt, means we can clarify right now, right? So I hope I mean, only 50 people from this total 86 submitted your assignment, right? So we have given an assignment in that last class. So all over CSE and IT, a total of 86 members. I have received almost some 28 plus 20, 40, sorry, 51 assignments. as of now. So what about that remaining persons? I don't know, but each and every action there should be a reaction, right? Okay, anyway, so we have seen some 6 types of problems in that substitution, right? So in this 6 type, in this in this 6 types, sorry, some in these 6 types, do you have any doubt in any of the types or any of the problems? Do you have any doubt in that substitution cipher, I mean substitution techniques and transposition techniques? In that substitution technique itself, we have some six types, right? So Caesar cipher, monoalphabetic cipher, Playfair cipher, Hill cipher, Virginia cipher, that is polyalphabetical cipher, also known as Virginia cipher, one-time pad. Okay, so we have 6 types of different techniques in that substitution technique, substitution encryption technique. Do you have any doubt in that? Because in this 6 type of problems, you can expect a 16 mark, a 10 mark, a 8 mark, anything, right? It's a compulsory question from the first unit. If you have any doubts, you can ask now, or else we can move further. So I can take this silence as you are well versed in those problems, right? Let me see. Okay, so and the second one is transposition technique. So in this transposition techniques, how to say, in this transposition techniques, we have some different kinds of problems, right? Clear? Okay, so we have some easiest problems in the transposition techniques. Can anyone explain, or can anyone brief me what is the difference between substitution technique and transposition technique? Anyone? Or else I can mention the name.
Sir, may I?
Yeah, just now.
Sir, substitution அந்த பர்టిక్యులர் அந்த வேர்டு அதை தவிர்த்து அந்த வேர்டுக்குள்ள வேற ஒரு வேர்டு சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிட்டு ரெப்ரசன்ட் பண்றது சார். டிரான்சிஷன்னா சேம் அதே அந்த அந்த பேட்டர்னுக்குள்ளாரே இருக்கிற வேர்டு சேஞ்ச் பண்ணி ஒரு ஒரு மீனிங் கொண்டு வருது சார்.
யா ரைட், கரெக்ட், ரைட். ஸோ இது இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் கிளாரிட்டியாக சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னா, substitution technique is nothing but you are going to substitute some new letter in the place of existing one. Okay, and also that new letter should not be in that text, should not be in that word. Clear? So now ஒரு word இருக்கு, அந்த வேர்டை I am going to do as a substitution technique. அந்த வேர்டில் இண்டிவிஜுவலாக ஒவ்வொரு லெட்டரையும் I am going to substitute. Okay, so I am going to substitute some new letter for that existing letter. The condition is that new letter should not be in that array, should not be in that how to say, should not be in that word. Okay, so என்னுடைய அந்த sequence of letters குள்ள அந்த வார்த்தை இருக்கக்கூடாது. Sorry, interruptions. என்னோட நியூ லெட்டருக்குள்ள அந்த வேர்ட், என்னோட அந்த ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணுற, ஐ மீன் அந்த சப்ஸ்டியூட் பண்ணுற அந்த லெட்டர் வந்து இட் ஷுட் நாட் பி இன் மை சீக்வன்ஸ், ஷுட் நாட் பி இன் மை arrangement of words. Okay, so that is known as substitution techniques. But in case of transposition techniques, there is no new letter has been substituted. Instead of that, I can transfer the position of an existing letters. Okay, so இந்த இடத்துல நான் புதுசாக எந்த ஒரு வார்த்தைகளையும் சேர்க்க மாட்டேன். அதுக்கு பதிலாக என்னோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பிளேஸில் எனக்கு ஒரு லெட்டர் இருக்குன்னா I can transfer it to some other place. Okay, so I can transfer my letter from my original position to some other position. This is known as transposition techniques. Okay, so keep in mind that substitution technique and transposition techniques are from the classical cryptographic techniques or traditional cryptographic techniques. Okay, so these are the basic techniques in your cryptography and network security, or that is in your cryptographical techniques. Substitution and transposition are the very very basic techniques. Okay, so we can name it as, or we can mention it as traditional cryptography or else classical cryptography, right? and we are going to move into the third part of our first unit, that is foundations of modern cryptography. Okay, so till now we have seen all the things about classical cryptography, that is a traditional one. Okay, so now we are moving to that modern cryptography. Okay, so in this modern cryptography we have some of the new types. Who's that? Mute your phone. Okay, Uma Devi, உங்களோட okay, thank you, mute பண்ணிட்டீங்க, right? What is that? Yeah. In our modern cryptography, we have numerous algorithms. Like traditional cryptography, we have numerous algorithms in that modern cryptography also. We can take it as, or we can name it as advanced versions of, or advanced method of that traditional one. Okay, so we have till now we are upgrading our techniques, till now we are updating our techniques. This modern cryptography is just a updation of our previous one, that is traditional one. Okay, so in this modern cryptography also we are going to see some various algorithms, some various some different kinds of algorithms which are more interesting one. Okay, so from that second unit itself we are going to see some algorithms which are advanced in versions. Okay, so that all comes under this modern cryptography. Okay, right. Okay, so we can move. So what is called a modern encryption? So modern encryption is a key to advanced computer and communication security. Here also I just mentioned before, this is a advanced version. Okay, so our modern encryption is just an advanced version of that traditional one. Clear? Okay, so second one, this stream of cryptography is completely based on the ideas of mathematics. Yes, so from that second unit we are going to create an algorithm, or we are going to define an algorithm for this network security. That algorithm's basic one is mathematics. In mathematics exclusively, number theory plays a key role in your key generation, a key role in this network security concept. Okay, so we are going to see various algorithms. Okay, so as I told in that first class itself, from the first unit till the 5 units we are going to do a same process, that is sender is going to send a message to that receiver. In that message sending, that message should be encrypted. Okay, for that encryption we are going to use some of the various algorithms, from the basic one to till the advanced one. We are going to use the algorithms. Okay, so this is the thing we are going to see from the first unit to 5th unit, right? Okay, so that modern cryptography has a core idea as mathematics. Okay, so in this mathematics also number theory plays a very important role in creating or generating the key. Okay, so what is the purpose for that key? Yes, what is the purpose of key, right? So what is the purpose of key means, that key is used to lock my message or encrypt my message. Okay, so in that last class we have seen, right? So some of the new keys will be defined, or some of the new key will be generated, and that key is used for lock your message. Okay, to protect from the third party. Okay, so I can name it as encrypting my message, right? Clear? So that is the purpose of this number theory. So the basic function of the core part of our key generation is mathematics. In this mathematics the core part is number theory. Clear? So we have numerous problems, we have various problems in this number theory in our second and third units. Okay, so we can see. Okay, so and the third one is characteristics of modern cryptography. Okay, so what is the difference between traditional encryption and modern encryption? So I have seen all the parts in my traditional encryption. Okay, so in this last class itself we have seen all the parts, we have seen all the types in this traditional encryption. So we know about this traditional encryption. Okay, how my modern encryption is going to be differed from this traditional encryption. So let us see. So for first point, for making ciphertext, manipulation is done in the character of plaintext. Manipulation. What is called manipulation? So manipulation is called some of the manual operations we can take as. some of the manual operations. So we have did some Caesar cipher, we have did some Playfair cipher. Okay, so all the parts are manually calculated by us. Clear? Or manually calculated by us. This is the format. Okay, so we know the idea, we know the basic idea about that Caesar cipher, Playfair cipher, and Hill cipher, etc. But the calculation was done by me. But the calculation was done by us. Okay, so that is a manipulation. Okay, so it is a man-made work. Okay, for making, I mean, traditional encryption, we have numerous types, and every numerous for every types the calculation was done by the human. Clear? Okay, so in that part of modern encryption, for making ciphertext, operations are performed on binary bit sequence. Here the operation will be performed. Okay, what kind of operation? We have numerous we have several algorithms for this encryption and decryption. Okay, so this will be calculated by the machine, not by the human. Clear? Okay, so this is the first difference between traditional encryption and modern encryption, right? And what about the second one? The whole of the ecosystem is required to communicate confidentiality. Okay, the whole of the ecosystem means the sense it, sender is responsible, receiver is responsible, the traffic channel is responsible for this confidentiality, the person, each and every one which takes part in this communication are responsible for that message confidentiality. Clear? So that is a traditional, that is in the part of traditional encryption. And what about that modern encryption? Here only the parties who want to execute secure communication, so only the parties, if I need my data to be secured, I am one of the parties. To secure my data, I can create some secret key. Okay, so this is in the part of modern encryption. Okay, so what is the third point? These are weaker as compared to modern encryption. Yes, exactly, because modern encryption is nothing but an updation of traditional encryption. When that updation and when the upgradation needed, the existing, if the failure happens in that existing means, we can go for the upgradation or updation. Okay, so in this one we can tell how that traditional encryption concept is weaker compared to modern encryption. Clear? Okay, so and the fourth one is it believes in the concept of security. Okay, but in this modern encryption, its security depends on the public known mathematical algorithm. In this modern encryption, the security depends on that mathematical algorithm. Clear? But in the place of traditional encryption, it believes the concept of security through obscurity. What is that obscurity? Obscurity is nothing but the techniques, all the techniques which will be known by a human. Okay, so for example, if in that Caesar cipher technique, that +3 concept will be known only by that king and only by the soldier, that Caesar's soldier. Okay, not by the third parties. Okay, that is, that algorithm should be known by the human, and all the concepts which will be defined or derived by human only. But in the place of modern encryption, the machine will take care about that. Clear? So this is the difference between traditional encryption and modern encryption. Right. And next one, context of cryptography. Okay, so in the first class itself, I think we have discussed about this. Okay, so what are the concepts behind this cryptography? Cryptology. Okay, so the basic thing is cryptology. Cryptology is nothing but it's nothing but the collection of informations about studies. Okay, so in this cryptology we have two types. Okay, we have two parts. One is cryptography and another one is cryptanalysis, right? So cryptography is nothing but a study of science. I can explain like this: it's a study of science which is used for encrypting and decrypting the message, used for securing your message. That is a cryptography. How to say? Simply, cryptography is nothing but study about a protection of data. Okay, so cryptography is nothing but a study about a protection of data. So in that protection of data, how can I protect my data? By using encryption and decryption. How can I use that encryption? By using algorithms. Okay, so this is known as cryptography. Cryptography is nothing but it's a study of protecting my data. what is cryptanalysis. So it is a contrast form from that cryptography. Cryptanalysis is nothing but the technique which is used for break the protection of that protected data. That is cryptanalysis. Clear? So these two things are just inversely proportional, we can say. So cryptography is nothing but a study of protecting the data. Cryptanalysis is nothing but a study of breaking that protection. Clear? So these two are taken as a cryptology. Yes. So next one is types of modern cryptography. Sorry. So next one is types of modern cryptography, right? We have different types in this modern cryptography also. Okay. So some example are symmetric key encryption, asymmetric key encryption. So what do you mean by symmetric key encryption? Anyone? Yes, anyone? What do you mean by symmetric encryption? So we have explained this in our previous class itself, right? Can I mention any name? Today,
Sir?
yes, who's that? Yeah, Niveda.
So both same keys used for encryption and decryption, sir, is called symmetric cipher mode.
Exactly. Very good. Okay, the same key will be used for both the encryption and decryption purpose. That is known as symmetric key encryption. Also, we can explain like the same key will be used by both the sender and receiver. This is known as symmetric key encryption. But what about that asymmetric key? Vice versa, the different keys will be used for encryption and decryption, or the different keys will be used by sender and receiver. This is known as asymmetric encryption. Okay, so these are the two types of modern cryptography. Clear? Okay, and the next one is key. So what do you mean by that key? Some secret key. I've told in that last slide itself, I think. So some secret key will be used to lock my data or to encrypt my data. Okay, so that is the purpose of key, right? So what is key? It can be a number, word, phrase, or any code. Okay, the key will be like a number or a word or a phrase. It will be in any other format. Okay, but that key will be used to lock your data, lock your message. Okay, so how can we? Okay, so all of us having our smartphones, right? So all of us, our smartphone must be a protected one. Okay, so to protect my smartphone's data, I've used some pattern lock or I have used some number lock. Okay, so that number lock or a pattern lock is an example for that key. Clear? Okay, so I think you got some clear idea about the key. Clear? Okay. And next one is security services of cryptography. Okay, so what are the securities which will be provided by that cryptographical concepts? So what are the security services? So I think we have discussed these concepts in that OSI security architecture. Okay, so I think you are all remember that OSI security architecture. That OSI security architecture has three things: one is security attacks, security services, and security mechanisms. Okay, so so you have submitted an assignment also in that OSI architecture. I think you were clear about that security services. Clear? So first thing is confidentiality, second one is integrity, third one is authentication, fourth one is non-repudiation. Okay, we can ask Varsha from CSE. Are you there, Varsha? You just please unmute your mic.
பிரவீன் சார், அந்த இதுல chat boxல இன்டராக்ஷன் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க. நீங்க क्वेश्चन கேளுங்க, அதுக்கு இன்டராக்ஷன் ஆன்சர் வந்து chat boxல போட சொல்லுங்க.
Okay sir, sure sir.
Okay. அந்த ஐடி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் சிஎஸ்சி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாருமே அந்த ஃபீட்பேக் டெய்லியுமே மறந்துடாதீங்க. ஸ்டாப்ஸ் மறந்தாலும் நீங்க கேட்டு அந்த ஃபீட்பேக் போட சொல்லி கேட்டு இந்த லிங்க் நான் போட்டுட்ருக்கேன். இன்னைக்கு நான் போட்டுட்ருக்கேன். அந்த லிங்க்ல செஷன் எண்டு முடிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் நீங்க ஃபில் பண்ணிக்கலாம். சிஎஸ்சி ஃபில் பண்ணிக்கலாம், ஐடி ஃபில் பண்ணிக்கலாம். நான் சிஎஸ்சின்னு போட்டிருக்கேன். ஐடி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஆல்சோ கேன் ஃபில்.
Okay. So my question is, so what do you mean by confidentiality? What do you mean by data integrity? So we have discussed this once in that last class itself, and you are also submitted an assignment. So I think you may aware about this concept. Okay. So everyone or you just write that answers in that chat box. So each one for everyone. Okay. So anyone can explain that confidentiality, anyone can brief that confidentiality. The same thing, anyone can brief that integrity. Okay. So what do you mean by that integrity? Data integrity means there is no change happened that data while transferring. That is called data integrity. A simple thing. Okay. So you can answer it in your chat box itself. Clear? Yes. What do you mean by the non-repetition? I think you may have some doubts in that non-repetition, or you may have some, you don't have some clarity in that non-repetition. Okay. So we can explain by using an example. Non-repetition has two things, from that sender side and also from that receiver side. Okay. So non-repetition from that sender side means if unmute yaar. Okay, anyway, need unmute. Okay, anyway, so non-repetition has two things. One is non-repetition from that sender side. நித்யஸ்ரீ அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க.
கிளாஸ் எடுக்கறாரா?
Okay. So non-repetition from sender side and non-repetition from receiver side. Okay. So first one, sender side. Okay. So if I send something to you people, but I'm just telling that message was not sent by me. That is called non-repetition from sender side. Okay. So but frankly, but that how to say, so I have sent you a message. That is the first thing. I have sent you a message, but I am not accepting that message was sent by me. That is a non-repetition from sender side. And what about that receiver side? Means you received my message, you received my order, or you received my assignment, but you are frequently telling I am not received anything from you, I have not received any instruction from you. That is a non-repetition from receiver side. Okay. So it's like how to say, lying. So that is a non-repetition. Okay. So these are the these are the security services of cryptography. Okay. So what do you mean by the confidentiality? Confidentiality only by the sender and the receiver, not by the third party. That is called confidentiality. What do you mean by integrity? What the message which was sent by the sender is exactly received by the receiver without any moderations or without any editing. That is called data integrity. What is authentication? Authentication is nothing but that message was sent by me only. That is called authentication. Okay. So for example, digital signature is one of the example of that authentication. Okay. Here also message authentication and only, that is message authentication. Entity authentication is I have sent my message to the right person. That is an entity authentication. Clear? Okay. Next one is cryptographic primitives. So what are the cryptographic primitives are there? Okay. So what are the cryptographic primitives? Right. So cryptographic primitives are nothing but tools and techniques in cryptography which are providing a security services. The tools which are providing a security services or a cryptographic primitive. So what are this? Encryption. Encryption is a tool to protect my data. Hash functions. So the hash function is also one of the tools. We can see this hash function in our third unit. Okay. Third one, message authentication code. This is one of the tools which are providing service security. We can see this message authentication code in fourth unit. Digital signatures. So digital signature is also one of the tools. Okay. So these are some of the cryptographical primitives. Next one is perfect security. So how can I I accept my data is perfectly secured one. When can I tell like this? When can I accept this? Okay, perfect security is ciphertext conveys no information. Okay, the first thing is, what is meant by ciphertext? Ciphertext is a converted data. Okay, if the intruder got the converted data, he is not able to retrieve the original message. By he will apply any of the techniques, he will apply any of the algorithms to retrieve the message, but he cannot able to retrieve. That time my data is a perfectly secured one. Clear? Okay. If the intruder got my ciphertext also, he is not able to get back my plain text, means my data is a perfectly secured one. Clear? Okay. Right. Next one is information theory. So hereafter, some topics are there. So they are all a part of theory part only. Okay, so we can close it off as soon as possible. Okay, so what is information theory? So information theory studies about the quantification, storage and communication of information. What is mean by quantification? Quantification is nothing but number of data content is known as quantification. How many number of data I have, that is a quantification. Storage means how to say, whether I have 1 TB storage space or 1 GB storage space. Okay, so this is a storage. And communication of information. How I am communicating my information through a channel. What type of channel? It is a wired or wireless, and what is the algorithm I have used for this one. So these are all comes under this communication information. Okay, the field is next one. The field is at the intersection of mathematics, statistics. Okay, simply telling, information theory is nothing but it got all the data about the size of your particular information, that is quantification. Storage, so what type of storage we are using, and what type of so how many bytes are there to store that particular data, how many bytes required to store that particular data. These are all under that information theory. Also it has some mathematics, it also has some statistics and physics, neurobiology, all the things are there. It's like a database, it's like an encyclopedia. That is called a information theory. Next one is product crypto systems. So in this product crypto systems, we are going to use some of the advanced techniques. It's not an advanced one comparing to the traditional, it was advanced. Clear? We are going to use some new algorithms in this product crypto systems. So from that second unit itself, we are going to use some new type of algorithms for a new type of problems. Okay, so here substitution box, permutation box, modular arithmetic, these are all some of the mathematical stems, right? Substitution, permutation, modular arithmetics. Okay, so as I already told, number theory, mathematics plays an important role in that creation of or generating a encryption, generating a secret key. In that mathematics, number theory plays a very key role in number theory. So this substitution, permutation, modular arithmetics are the part of number theory. By using this substitution, by using this permutation and also modular arithmetic, we are going to create or we are going to generate some new algorithm for encryption and decryption purpose. Okay, this substitution box, permutation box are in some of the encryption algorithm, DES, DES and AES. So we can see this DES and AES in our second unit. Data encryption standard, advanced data encryption standard. These are the very important system marks. These are the two important system marks from our second unit. Okay, in these two algorithms, this substitution box and permutation box plays a important role. And also modular arithmetic. So modular arithmetic means it will be used in key generation part. Okay, so we have some new theorem called the Chinese remainder theorem in our second unit. Okay, thus that Chinese remainder theorem is used for key generation. Okay, so we can explain this modular arithmetic in our second unit, right? So these are the product, these are all comes under this product crypto systems. Okay, so yeah, DES and AES, data encryption standard and advanced encryption standard. So we can look all the things in our second unit. Yes, cryptanalysis. What do you mean by the cryptanalysis? We have already discussed some 4 slides before, right? So what do you mean by the cryptanalysis? Anyone? Yes, so anyone can put your message in the chat box. What do you mean by cryptanalysis, right? So cryptanalysis is
So the
yes.
the technique used for break the protection of protected data, sir.
Yes. The techniques, the various techniques are used for breaking the encrypted
Protection.
breaking the protection of the data. Okay, so we have some numerous types in that. We have some general types in that. Okay, so brute force attacks and all the attacks are there. Okay, so what do you mean by that brute force attack? Brute force attack is nothing but trying all possibilities to break your password. If I want to know, yeah, I want to know who the Yoga Prakash. So I want to know Yoga Prakash password, Yoga Prakash mail ID or Yoga Prakash mobile pin number. Okay, so I'll try all the possibilities. Okay, I'll try Yoga's birth date, I'll try Yoga's nickname, I'll try his favorite actor, I'll try his favorite actress, like that. I'll try all the things. That is called a brute force attack. Clear? So brute force attacks is a general one in this cryptanalysis, right? Yes, brute force, trying all possibilities. And dictionary attack, we have certain types. Okay, so we have seen that brute force attack. Like that, we have another 2 attacks called dictionary attack and rainbow table attack. What do you mean by the dictionary attack? Is it is a type of attack, uses a word list in order to find a match. Okay, uses a word list. What is called word list means? So all of you have seen that onion film, right? Okay, so in that onion film, there will be a scene like Prakash Raj will come to Ambi's home for jumbling that some words. Okay, jumbled words. Okay, are you remember that? Some jumbled words.
Yes, sir.
Yes. That is called dictionary attack. We can align.
Sir, letter clear at Sir.
Slightly.
Clear at sir.
Slide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
எல்லாருமே அப்படிதான் இருக்கா?
இல்ல சார் நல்லா தான் சார் தெரியுது.
ஓகே எனிவே
சார் பிபிடி எதுமே விசிபிள் ஆகல சார். انا
பிபிடி விசிபிள் ஆகலையா?
ஆமா சார், அது லோடிங்ல தான் சார் இருக்கு. பட் இன்னும் இப்போ வரைக்கும் எதுவுமே விசிபிள் ஆகல.
அது மேபி ஒண்ணு என்னோட நெட்வொர்க் இஷ்யூவா இருக்கும், இல்ல உங்களோட நெட்வொர்க் இஷ்யூவா இருக்கும். நோ இஷ்யூ, ஐ கேன் ஷேர் தட் பிபிடி, ரைட்? சோ இன்னும் ஒரே ஒரு ஸ்லைடு
ஓகே சார்.
இன்னும் ஒரே ஒரு ஸ்லைடு இருக்கு. சோ வில் ஷேர், ரைட்? சோ வாட் டு யூ மீன் பை டிக்ஷனரி அட்டாக்? You just mute all the people, you just mute. Okay, anyway, so what do you mean by the dictionary attack means? I have set of letters or I have set of words. I can rearrange my words till my original data recovered. Okay, that is called dictionary attack. Clear? And third one, what do you mean by that rainbow table attack? Sorry, what do you mean by that rainbow table attack? Rainbow table attack is nothing but comparing the ciphertext against the pre-computed hash. Comparing the ciphertext against the pre-computed hash means I have certain previously received data and I have my received I have some latest received data, latest received ciphertext. I just compare this latest received by my previous data. That is called a rainbow table attack. Clear? So already I have received a lot of ciphertext, I already have received a lot of data. Okay, so I've arranged my data in my hash table. Okay, so now if I receive some new ciphertext now means I just compare my new ciphertext with my previous data. That is called rainbow table attack. Okay, so these are the three types in this cryptanalysis. These are the basic things in that cryptanalysis. Clear? Okay. So next one, other attacks using cryptanalysis. What are the other attacks? Known plain text analysis, chosen plain text analysis, ciphertext only analysis. In that last class itself, we have told known plain text only means I have certain plain text. Okay, so for example, if I have if I have sent some data now means, if I send some data now means you can assume now only my class is over. So Praveen will send data regarding my class. That is a known plain text. Okay, clear. And chosen plain text means I have selected a lot of informations. I have selected a particular one in that lot of information, and I can take or I can assume this is that original. I have already, how to say, yeah, chosen plain text means, so I have received my ciphertext. My purpose is, as a cryptanalyst, my work is to break the algorithm or to break that encrypted data. Okay, so I have received that encrypted data, I have received that ciphertext. Okay, I have assumed, so I just keep it as it is, and I have assumed something as a plain text. So this may be that information. Okay, by using that information, I am again doing that ciphertext. If my assumed ciphertext and that received ciphertext is same means my choice is correct. That is called chosen plain text analysis. Clear? And the next one is ciphertext analysis, ciphertext only analysis. It is a vice versa of the chosen plain text. And man in middle attack. Man in middle attack is nothing but that intruder. Okay, the intruder, that is a man in middle attack. So man in middle attack means the man will be in between that sender and receiver. That man is nothing but the intruder. He can interrupt the message between that sender and receiver. So these are some of the basic things in the man in middle attack. Clear? So these are the some of the attacks using cryptanalysis. Okay, so so we have completed or we have finished our first unit here. Okay, so let me brief today's class. So today we are the foundations of cryptography. In that foundations of cryptography, we have seen that types. So types of cryptography, that is encryption types, that is symmetric and asymmetric. And what about next one? Characteristics of modern cryptography. So characteristics means you just compared the traditional one and also the modern one. Okay, and also we have seen that context of cryptography. So cryptology is the basic one, cryptology is the core one. In that cryptology we have two things, one is cryptography, another one is cryptanalysis. What do you mean by cryptography? It is study of who is that? Sunil, mute panna. Okay, so it is like cryptography is nothing but a study of study of to protect the data, study of protecting the data. It is a cryptography. Cryptanalysis is breaking the protection. That is a cryptanalysis. So these two are comes under the context of cryptography. And what are the types of cryptography? We have two things, symmetric and asymmetric. And what is mean by key? Key may be a word, or key may be a number, or key may be a phrase. Anything will be. Okay, the key will be used for locking your data, that is encrypting your data. Okay. And next one is security services. So we have seen some services in that: security, confidentiality, integrity, non-repudiation, authentication, and one more thing is there, that is access control. Nobody reminded that, correct? So we have 5 types in that security services. One is confidentiality, data integrity, authentication, non-repudiation, and the 5th one is access control. Clear? So these 5 are the services in security. Clear? And we have seen that cryptographic primitives. What are the primitives are there? What are the tools which we are using for encryption? We are protecting data. What are the tools we have used for protecting the data? encryption is one of the tools, hash function is one of the tools, message authentication is one of the tools. So the remaining hash function, message authentication code, and digital signatures. So these three things will be discussed in our upcoming sessions, upcoming units. Okay. So these are all cryptographic primitives. What is called perfect security? This is an important 2 mark. What is called perfect security? Perfect security is nothing but if the intruder knows our ciphertext, he cannot able to retrieve my original message. At that time only my data has been perfectly secured one. Clear? That is called a perfect security. And information theory. So what are the things will comes under that information theory? Quantification, storage. What do you mean by quantification? The levels of data or a group of data. Quantifying. What is called quantification? I mean quantity and quality. What is called quantity? Quantity is nothing but number of datas. It's a numbers. Number of data or number of anything. Number of data, number of algorithms, whatever that. Okay, so it is a study about the quantification, storage, communication, information, and statistics, and also we have some physics, thermal physics, quantum computing. All the informations will comes under this information theory. Okay. And what do you mean by the product crypto systems? So product crypto systems, we have already told for encryption, mathematics plays an important role. For key generation, mathematics plays an important role. In that mathematics, number theory concept plays a very important role. Okay, so in that number theory, we can take substitution, permutation, modular arithmetic. Okay, so substitution, permutation, these two things will be used in DES and AES, that is data encryption standard and advanced encryption standard, advanced data encryption standards, which will be in our second unit. Okay, so this is known as product crypto systems. Okay, what about the cryptanalysis? Cryptanalysis is nothing but breaking the security. So how can I going to break my security? How can I going to break the encryption? By using some of the techniques, that is brute force attack, dictionary attack, rainbow table attack. Brute force is nothing but trying all the possibilities. Dictionary attack is we have set of words and I can rearrange my words till my original message retrieved. Okay, this is known as dictionary attack. Rainbow table attack is nothing but the new ciphertext will be compared with the previous data. That is called rainbow table attack. Clear? And other cryptanalysis, known plain text, chosen plain text, everything. Okay, so now our first unit gets completed. Do you have any doubt here? So this will be an interaction session, right? So I need our session will be a more interactive one. Okay, so I'm asking questions, you are keeping silence. So it's not a dictation one, it's an interactive one. You can interact. Okay, so this session is open for interaction. Our hour is open for interaction. Clear? So you can ask your doubts or you can share your ideas. Okay, anyway, now, so is there any doubts in our first unit? Or else I can ask a question.
No, sir.
No. Okay, one thing I want to remind you, just wait a minute.